Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to change an ABS sensor, which is one of these, on one of these, which is a Citroen Berlingo or Peugeot partner, the later ones. First, let's show you what tools you might need. The bare minimum tools that you're going to need to complete this task are a T30 torx with something to turn it, a way to take your wheel off and make your vehicle safe, raising it off the ground, a flat-bladed screwdriver. That's all you need, and obviously a new ABS sensor, that would be handy too. But the other parts, the other tools that I've used in this video, which are not essential but I did use, was a 3/8 torque wrench, a small hammer and metal chisel, a cheap ratchet, a couple of torches, a trim clip removal pair of pliers, and a small wire wheel on a drill. But as I say, only those first few are essential. Right, let's go fix stuff. First thing we can do, as we're in shot, is I'm going to show you how to unplug it, which is quite simple actually on these. You don't have to go anywhere else than under the wheel arch, which is, well, that's nice, isn't it? See if we can shed any more light on the situation for you all. There we go. And you can get it just as this piece here. I do find it easier to whip this little cover off there, which you can use this fancy tool here, which I have, but just use this fancy tool here, which is one of these, or that'll do just fine as well, flat blade screwdriver. So I'm going to put that little trim clip out the way, and then there's a little tab here, up on the left, which slides in behind a metal tab, so we push that across to the right, and we can bend that out of the way, like that. Get it behind that brake line, and we can see you can lift it out of the way. So it's connected onto the body on this little tab, and then that should be clipped onto there. Interesting enough, it's broken off. It should be a little just slide off. So there's a little tab here, push that in with a flat blade screwdriver, slide that up out of the way, and then this, if we zoom in, nice simple tab. So just showing you up close there, it's just connected on here at the back, and then here we just lift that front tab up there and pull the two parts apart. So we'll do that now. We'll lift that tab up with a flat blade screwdriver. You can just gently pull them apart, and that's that part done. And then we'll get it off this tab down here. So removal of that tab there, it literally just flicks out of that, nicely does it. And now we're left to pull the part out the back of the hub. So we're going to turn the steering, so if you were on the left side, you'd be turning it to the right, would you? No, to the left. And on this side, we're turning it to the right, because it's on the left side. And that'll give us a little bit more access to this hub on the back here. See in there nice and clearly into this section here. So you should be able to see, just pull in a bit tighter. There we go. There is our sensor in the back here. Now they've changed the design on these, which is... Hello again. So they've changed the design on these, which is quite a good thing, because what's happened is they used to sit in the hubs in a hole, you have to drill them out and everything. Not so much anymore, which is, you know, it's a good thing, really. There is a bolt up there. Let's try and show you. Right at the back. The torx head. Can you see that? Right in the middle of the shot? And that's what we're going to be getting at. Well, that's going to be removing. And then the sensor should essentially flop out the way. That is a T30 torx. I'm using a little extension, so I don't want to be damaging the CV boot, which is right here. And you want to make sure, this is what you can do with a hammer or the other end of your ratchet. Tap the back of your socket until it feels firmly in that torx head. Now if you don't do that, you might just find that it rounds off, and it's not a good place to be with rounded off bolts, especially not on torx. So there we go, that is not very tight at all, and once it's loose you should be able to just spin the rest of the bolt with your hand like this. There we go. getting the rest out of my finger, and then I'll show you the bolt. And there is your bolt that you're trying to get out with the Torx head on it. Okay, so simple as that. We're almost halfway. Okay, with our little bolt removed, we should be able to give our sensor a little wiggle, like that. And if that's not enough to remove it, we get the world's smallest pry bar. It's just a screwdriver, and flick it out, and that's it. Now, you'll notice behind that there might be a bit of corrosion. So we want to just get that screwdriver and just clean that off, because this is still where quite often these sensors, there's pressure put on them where there shouldn't be, and they can twist, cause interference. But it is good practice, as in good habit. Cool. And now, reverse the process. So, new sensor. They often, as I found, do not come, unfortunately, with a new bolt. Now they've got to sit nicely in a recess, which you've just seen, that if it's covered in all the mangled up bits of metal, it doesn't sit there very well. Alright, now we've cleaned it up properly. There was a lot of corrosion in there, which had expanded the metal, was putting pressure on the sensor, probably causing a fault. That's nice and cleaned up now. Now you're going to get bits on the magnetic ring. I wouldn't panic about that too much. That happens over time just because of brake dust and everything. What you want is that this will sit, this new sensor, you want that to sit really nice and cleanly on its mounting face. Right in there. You've got to wiggle it in, just like that. And then we get our original bolt. Make sure the threads are nice and clean, which they are, which is good. And we spin that in there. I'm going to use a cheat gun, because I like to cheat. Okay, so the torque spec for these is 8 Newton meters. 8, not 1/8, not 18, not 80, just 8 Newton meters. That is not very much at all. Likely, that's it. Not very much at all. It's likely tighter coming off because of the corrosion pushing on the sensor, basically making it tighter, pulling on the threads. So once that is bolted in position, we now just have to reverse the process with our clips and wires, and then with whatever diagnostic equipment you're using, you should really clear the fault codes. However, ABS systems are quite good in which they will cycle through, check everything, and not put a code up or not put the light back on if you've resolved the issue, which, well, we're hoping we have just done that, aren't we? So, let's get our clips back in place. Just run the wire in the direction, you know, from the way you bolted it to the next clip. And then at this stage, it's probably a good idea, now it's nice and loose and floaty. Click it back together on the plug. Not showing you that very well, are we? Sorry, boss. Alright, so we've done our first clip here. That's back on, nice and secure. And then we're plugging it actually back in now. You notice there is an orientation for these to go. You can't get it wrong. So if it's not fitting, then you've got it wrong. Make sure it doesn't just want to come back out. And then we're going to slide it back on the little slidey thing. Yeah? Slide it back on the slidey thing. Like, I think it's from the bottom to the top. Hang on. Oh no, it's from top to bottom. Like that. There we go. And then our final clip, rubber dongle thing, yes, then goes in. Yeah. Come on. It's quite tight, apparently. There we go, that went in nice and easily. It's going to be quite tight, this, because the suspension is at full droop, which is not where it normally lives. And then we put our tab back behind the metal tab. That protects that area. And this needs to go in behind there, like that. And then we have a final clip, which you put the back piece in first, and then we put the top piece on, like that, and you are done. Clear your code, take it for a test drive, and hopefully you have cured your ABS sensor woes. I'm not going to go into the diagnostics of it, that's a whole nother ballgame, but assuming that you wanted to change this sensor, and hopefully you followed these steps, you have just succeeded. Congratulations! Thank you for watching, hopefully this was helpful. Piggy out.